Hello, everybody. I'm in my new office in Derbyshire and just want to say a few words about the new Propellor project. Part of it draws on one of my books called Birds and People, which is a huge 400,000 encyclopedia on the cultural significance of birds. It's about all the families of birds around the world and how birds have entered our cultural lives, how they've played roles for inspiration, sources of symbols. Birds live out, of course, across the entire planet and every habitat, but they also live in an important place, and that's between our ears. And they have nestled there for thousands of years, generating all sorts of ideas about life. Many birds were gods, etc. We've used birds as symbols in poetry and in music. You think of the lark ascending in Vaughan Williams' piece of classical music, or Hardy's poems about the darkling thrush, or Edward Thomas, or Ted Hughes. Any number of poets and writers have drawn on birds, and the book explores all the different ways in which these extraordinary creatures have shaped our world. And this led me on about 10 years ago to co-found an organisation called New Networks for Nature, which essentially draws together all those extraordinary creative people who respond to the natural world and whose creative practice draws on nature, because I see loss of biodiversity, not just in terms of species and habitats, etc., but a kind of diminution of our capacity to think and feel. And New Networks was a way of drawing together all those creative folk like Jack McNeil and the other extraordinary musicians in Propellor. And yes, it's a sort of venue where our piece of music in which I'm collaborating would occur. I was asked to reflect on a single species that might have inspired my own love affair with birds, and if I'm honest, it was probably not more than 10 minutes walk from where I'm sitting, and the bird above all others probably that drove home my passion, which has endured for 48 years, is a short-eared owl. I saw one just the other night, and yeah, they kind of summarize all that's magical about birds. They're mysterious, they're strange, they have a kind of human physiognomy with forward-pointing binocular eyes, and they do this thing we never shall, and short-eared owls do it so beautifully, and that is they fly. And if one bird could summarize my passion for ornithology, then it's that species. And finally, a piece of music that I think expresses as fully as possible the joy of flight and the joy of avian flight. I think one piece of music above all others is, it captures some of that. And again, it's about a bird that I can hear from this very window. In fact, I heard one as I was lying in bed yesterday. It features a curlew, and it's Rautavaara's Concerto for Birds and Orchestra. The first movement draws particularly on curlews, but also on the sounds of migrating cranes. And it is a wonderful interplay, a dialogue between an orchestral ensemble. The great richness of Western music is summarized there, and then all the wildness of the northern taiga wilderness, those kind of wetland environments that Rautavaara must have encountered in his home Finland. So I'm looking forward to making music that draws on birds, and I couldn't think of a more exciting project than this one being pursued by Propellor. I look forward to meeting you along the road. Thank you.